Brian Carter here at Dawson County on BLITZ. We're here with Coach Burgess and Coach Sweat, the boys and girls basketball coaches here at Dawson County. Coach Burgess, Coach Sweat, as always, appreciate having you guys on the show. Thank you for your time.
Oh, great having you back in Dawsonville, Brian.
We always enjoy it. Now, Coach, we're going to start with you, Coach Burgess. You got off to an 11-1 start. You're 12-2 overall right now. And every year you always get off to a fast start, but I don't think, as long as I've been looking at Dawson County basketball, that you've had a start quite like this, where you win 11 of the first 12. Talk about, in terms of the teams you've coached, where that ranks in terms of having a fast start, and was this kind of what you expected at this point?
Well, I thought it was important. You know, we lost 4 starters, and 5 out of the top 6 those kids have been playing with us, actually been starting the last 3 years. So we're in a major rebuilding mode as far as, what we had coming back. So I thought a key was going to be for us to kind of get a little confidence early. We could go one way or the other. So the schedule allowed us to maybe be in some games that we had a great chance to win, and then there were some good challenges, some close games that I think we won and gave us some extra confidence. And those young kids played, and of course Tyler had a big part to do with that. He's his returner that we've got back, but I think we got better and better and early. Then we started winning some close games, and I think that mentality, when you start to win, starts to feed, and so. But we're fixing to hit the major part right now. So what you've done in the past doesn't have a whole bunch to do right now, especially having the Christmas break and having a little time off, and then getting started. Of course, opening up tonight with Raven.
Yeah, and winning hopefully is contagious too.
Usually
it is. So, now, Coach Sweat, talk to you for just a second. You've got a fairly young team. You've got 2 seniors this year. Talk a little about that. The 2 seniors that you've got. Just quickly talk about the impact that they have on this team, and then how you're able to kind of build your team around just having those 2 seniors.
Right. Well, it's good to have seniors. You know that, because they bring the experience and the leadership, and we have that in both of ours that we have this year. Morgan Huber and Kim Wallace. They are also both multi-sport athletes, which I think helps as well. Very good kids, and they do a lot of stuff for us. Both of them start and play a vital role in everything we do. One of them is a shooting wing player, and Kim plays the 2 guard for us. And I guess if we sort of had to say, Kim's like a defensive specialist for us. She's really feisty and plays really aggressive defense. And so if we have a person that we need to put somebody on, we do that with Kim. And so those 2, we look for them to do a lot of stuff and help us out in every way they can, and they do a good job of that.
Now, Coach Burgess, for you, you've also got a fairly young team, younger than you've had in quite a while. So talk about your team in terms of the youth, and you kind of already hit on that, having just 1 returning starter. That's got to be kind of a surprise for you, starting out like that as well with such a young team.
Yeah, and one thing we've tried to do is try to get some of those guys some quality minutes last year. But Brian, we had that group of seniors that had started for me since they were sophomores, so it was a little different than what I've had in the past. The senior that we have is Grant Shope. He's a fine, outstanding young man. He's one of the top students at the school, and it gives us leadership. Playing time, he doesn't play quite as much, but he gives us good leadership on that end. But we have just a good group of guys. That we had a new guy join us, Bruce Clark, who's been playing football, is back with us. Yeah, and Will Lang has provided a lot of leadership for us. He did get some quality minutes. He was kind of our shutdown player, like Coach Sweat mentioned with Kim. And we've got some kids that, we took a lot of emphasis on the summertime too. We played about 30-plus games during the summer. So you feel like you've almost played a whole season during the summer. The month of June is really a big time for us. We have actually 4 of our starters tonight will play football players. So we don't get them until maybe a couple of games before. So we put a lot of emphasis on the June time, and also makes those guys that they're freshmen and sophomores that feel like they've got an extra year under their belt. And we didn't have Tyler this summer. He messed up his ankle, and we didn't have him the whole summer. So that put a little bit more emphasis on some of the other guys and gave them some experience as we headed into the, when school started, and then finally the early part when we actually started practicing and get ready for the season.
Coach Sweat, you've been accustomed to having a pretty quick start yourself. Each of the last 3 seasons, you've won 7 of your first 11 games, which is pretty awesome for you guys to have such a quick start. You've also gone on to win either the Hebron or the Pacelli tournament 3 years in a row. Talk about what that's been like 3 years in a row to accomplish that.
Right. Well, it's always good to win. Yeah, we all understand that. To get off to a good start is always a good thing. That's what you want to do, get your kids going, get the momentum going for the season. We have been fortunate enough to win those tournaments, and it's been a good good games for us to open up with, as well as be in a tournament setting. And we hope that all the previous wins will help us when it comes region time and just flow right into that and keep it going.
So you're hoping that winning is contagious as well.
That's
so
correct.
Hopefully that's the case for
that
both
is
of you.
correct.
Now, Coach Burgess, 4 years in a row that you guys made state, and that was a pretty awesome stand there. And last year, unfortunately, was the first year in quite a while that you didn't quite get there, but still had a great year nonetheless. What is your response this year to try to get back to state?
Well, we missed it. I mean, that's something that we took a lot of pride in, and I think this group that we've got had a chance to experience, whether they were on the team or not, they were there to experience some of the things that we did and some of the positive things you get from playing in the state tournament. I think it makes your whole program. It gives you a little bit more lift going into the summer, gives you something to kind of strive towards the next year. So that's the goal of ours this year. And again, like Coach Sweat mentioned, we're in a very difficult region. It's going to be a tough chore for us, but that is something that we, that's why you play during the year. You try to win as many games as you can during the region, so you can get a higher seed. And when the tournament ends at the end of the season, give you a better chance at the end to, maybe pop up and win a game, and then maybe upset somebody. We're always going to struggle. We're going to be right on that line. We're going to go through some stages where we maybe have a little bit more athletes than some years, but we hope that we're at the level now. I think Coach Sweat would also agree with me that we're at the level we feel like we can compete every year, and that's something that we both take a lot of pride in with our basketball programs, that we are at that level right now at Dawson County.
Now, Coach Sweat, 2 straight 11-win seasons for you. How do you feel like your team, again, you get off to the quick start, and then, as you said, the region games are just really tough in 8AA. Talk about what you guys plan on doing to kind of get over that hump and get to the next level.
Right. We're going to continue to work hard. And, of course, the goal is to win every game, as anybody's goal would be. And I think this time we should be able to compete better in the region because of the players that we have now. Again, as we've already said, it is going to be tough, and we know that going in. You're going to have to play good every night. But we have been close, really one game away for the past 3 or 4 or 5 years from going to the state tournament. But part of that is because of where we were seated. Coach talked about that a little bit a while ago, and because of where we were seated, it made us have to play more games, back-to-back games, which takes a lot out of you, and that's hard, especially when you're playing against the folks that we got to play in our region, and then play back-to-back, and and try to win 2 or 3 games. Where if you get a good seed, now you don't have to play as many games, and you slip up on somebody, like Coach said, and you win that one. Now you're sitting pretty good going into the state tournament, which is our goal this year. We want, and I believe these kids, we've got the kids this year to get over that hump if we'll just go and do what they're capable of doing.
Well, I'd just like to add one thing, too. We've had unbelievable support. I think Coach Sweat, since I know I've been here 9 years, and Coach Sweat's been here before and is back again. I think they said that biggest crowd we'd ever had at the Lumpkin game that they'd seen in a game. And the support has been unbelievable in our community right now. Our students are dressing up like tonight. They got a blackout night. Oh, wow. And so, the excitement's there. And so it's kind of fun. It's a great situation for both programs.
Well, Coach Sweat, Coach Burgess, as always, thank you so much for taking time out just to be on Blitz. We really appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season. We look forward to both of you competing in 8AA.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brian. All right.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have a couple of the Dawson County players here on Blitz.